Hello my friends, welcome to the Diamond Aircraft 62. When your goal is to make more realism in a game that's already fighting to be as real as it can be, you will eventually start cold and dark on a parking spot in an airport, like this one in Hawaii. We are going to start up the Diamond Aircraft, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways of doing that. And just so you know, the Diamond Aircraft is one of my favorite aircraft to fly. I fly this one the most. I'm currently on a trip around the coasts of the world, every continent. I'm flying the coasts of every continent, and it's just kind of cool. And so I thought it would be fun to show you how to start up this aircraft. So inside the cockpit, we have a very nifty trick you can do. I'm going to try to position the camera so that you can see everything, and we even want to see these fuel selectors down here. And if I hit Control E, I will start up the aircraft using a macro that's built into the game. This is probably your fastest way to get any aircraft that you can't figure out started up, and you can use it at any point of the startup. If you botch the startup in some way, shape, or form, this is a good way to jump over that. Alternatively, if you wanted to start up the aircraft more in a realistic sense and actually go through the motions of like how a real pilot would start up an aircraft, this is how you would do it. One of the first things we're going to do is we're going to zoom in here, and I'm going to turn on this red switch. This is the Electronics Master, or Elec Master. And then we need to turn on the avionics, which will turn on our garments here. And I totally forgot, hey, I need to turn on the fuel, because if it's set to off, obviously the engines aren't going to turn on. So we set the fuel selectors to on. And then we come over here, and I can have the data over on the left screen, or when I activate this screen, the data will pull over to the right screen. This is where it will usually be. This is how our screens almost always look. And what we're going to do now is I just circled on the indicator where we have our glow on, which is our glow plug that's heating up. The engine will not start until that glow plug has turned off. And then, easy peasy, we just push the start button, and we're good to go. If you noticed, I didn't even have to turn on the fuel pump. I don't know if this is a real-world situation or not, but we'll turn on the left engine's glow plug, and we'll see how that takes. It's like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you know. And then, easy peasy, we start up. Now, one of the things that we have to know, or be aware of, is we will eventually black out all our screens if we don't do this next step. You need to change things over from the battery, because when we started up, we were on the battery. Now we need to turn on the alternators of the engines. This will allow us to produce electricity from the engines being running. And then I turn on my position and strobe lights. And yeah, I admit, in real world, I probably would have turned on that strobe light before I turned on the engine, and I would have shouted out the window saying, "Clear prop." Now, I've asked permission from ATC. I've gotten permission to go taxi to this runway. This is runway 4, right? And I have an airliner in front of me. The airliner is first in line, so he's getting ready to take off. And in just a moment, I will be given permission just to line up and take off as well. I'm waiting for the ATC instructions, and here we are. They've given us instructions to take off. So just before takeoff, I want to make sure that like my flaps are set. And usually you'll take off with your flaps one tick down, and you make sure that your trim is set in that green zone, or at least near the TO, which is takeoff level, and that will give us kind of our best bets for starting up. As we've gotten up to speed, I wait until I'm in the green-white section on that left speed control, and this also kind of reflects what's seen in the cockpit. You'd see similar green-white on the inside of the cockpit. Once it's in that green-white area, I can just gently pull back on the stick and take off. I hope that this tiny little tutorial helps you with your future flights in Flight Simulator, and especially if you want to fly the DA62, the Diamond Aircraft is a very beautiful choice. It even has auxiliary tanks so that you can fly even further. I think if you're very careful and the wind is in your favor, you can fly from Hawaii all the way to, not San Francisco, but to San Diego, and not crash, which is a good thing. This is kind of probably the smallest aircraft that can actually do that. There is another YouTuber who actually flew a real one from Honolulu to San Diego, and he made it with just a little bit of gas left. So I hope you guys have fun, and without a doubt, I hope that the flights look really good and that they are so fun that it keeps you flying. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.